Chapter 23. Non-spoiler. The Accidental Empress by Allison Pataki. For this chapter, we brought you yet another historical fiction about a royal love story. But before you think of happily ever afters, it is our duty to tell you this is not your typical fairy tale. In this chapter, we'll be giving you a hint of what to expect from the historically accurate story of Sissi, Empress of Austria, the Diana of her time. We post every Monday. Turn the page.
Welcome to another chapter of Between the Pages. If this is your first time joining us on our podcast, welcome. We are your hosts. My name is Haneen.
And my name is Nesma.
We host this podcast together where we review and recommend books for you to read.
We usually have non-spoiler chapters for those of you who want a spoiler-free review of a book, and spoiler chapters where we simply review the book down to every last detail.
Today we have The Accidental Empress
by Allison Pataki.
I was like, what was the name of the author?
Help!
Help!
Help! Well, that's why I'm here. So, I know this is not a very well-known novel, and probably not a lot of people heard about it.
I wouldn't have if it weren't for Nesma.
Yeah.
Because it's something from her childhood,
Yeah,
I think.
it was something from my childhood. So, fun fact is that me and my mom were completely enthralled and loved the movie Sissi. I watched it when I was a kid, and you can't imagine how amazing it was to watch
the dresses and the music and the emperor.
Everything was gorgeous to every little detail, and I love that story. I love that story. It lingers with me, you know. And one day, I was on Cherry Blossom, and I was scrolling through the books that she had during a discount, and I found a novel that was titled The Accidental Empress, and I was like, what could that be? Because we had recently finished Victoria,
yeah.
and I was still a little attached to that.
And the book covers look alike. So,
yeah, they do look alike. So I went on there, and then I was reading the synopsis, and I'm like, oh my god, wait a minute.
This is Sissi.
This is Sissi, my love, Sissi.
And then she was like, honey, there are these movies that I really want you to watch. They're in German. I'll translate for you.
Because the subtitles suck, apparently.
Yeah, they do. They're horrible. They don't make sense at all.
They don't make sense at all. And I took subtitling. I'm crying. Whoever did this.
But apparently it's not that popular, so
no,
they're not taking care of it.
Here we are. We have finally finished reading it. I actually finished reading it today.
A month after I finished it, I think. Or a month, yeah.
I mean, and today is, because we're recording before the date of the episode. It's
Saturday the 12th, I think.
Yeah, Saturday the 12th.
Of September.
Yeah, I finished reading it today, and I have to say I'm quite shocked.
And you can't wait to start the other book, right? The next book.
I cannot wait. Yeah. Cannot wait, because there are two. There's a sequel. It's a duology. There are only 2 books.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what else Allison Pataki has in store for Sissi, because something that is very apparent to me that it strayed very far, very, very far from the movies, the ones that I actually fell in love with.
Yeah.
And
I only watched the first movie, but I don't know. I take your word for it.
I'm quite upset about it, you know, but the book still falls under historical fiction.
Yeah.
So I can't be as mad as I am at the author, because this is something she took a lot of the historical facts from Sissi's life. In the movies, they kind of made it more
entertaining, I guess.
Entertaining. Yeah. All of it is fiction. They removed all the bad stuff and just kept the good stuff because it's a love story. You know, like no one
removed
really
all the drama.
Yeah, no one really wants to see how someone suffered through such a love story.
Yeah,
you know,
and to think she was an actual person that felt that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my mom always tells me that when she was a child, she watched Sissi as well. And during her childhood, she didn't have, like, they didn't have TV all the time, you know, they didn't have, like, a channel like we have now. So whenever it aired, I think it was during Christmas. And of course, you know, like, Christmas is
likes
magical
happy
time
stories
and everything. And it's 3 movies, and they're aired like 3 days in a row, so it's like a family thing, you know, like you can sit with the whole family, watch this beautiful love story, and you know, it's just so romantic. But Allison Pataki really was very harsh with the events, and she was very true to the original original story. I mean, it's not the reason why I read the book. You know,
we went in reading the book thinking it's like Victoria.
Yeah.
More of more intake on the movies or what they're thinking. Like the book Victoria, if you can look the episode up. But like, and also there is this new like reboot to the films as a TV series. It was recent, I think.
I think it was 2006.
I started this one and I didn't finish even the first episode. So
no, you didn't?
It's so unlike the book, and I didn't like them.
No, it is very like the book.
Really?
Like, France is actually very similar to the France in the novel than he is from the older movies from 1956. From 1955 to 1957, because there are 3 movies. There was supposed to be a 4th one, but the actress, Romy Schneider, she refused to do the 4th one because she had like mental health issues and she wasn't up for it.
She was so beautiful though.
She was so beautiful, yeah. Yeah.
It feels like it's really her, you know?
Yeah. She was 15 when she did the movie.
Really?
Yeah. She's 15.
She was that young when she did it. Like,
yeah. It's like in Pirates of the Caribbean, what's her name again? Oh my
Elizabeth,
God. The actress, Keira Knightley. She was 17 or 16, I think, when she did the first movie. You can't tell.
Yeah.
You can hardly tell. They made her looks like such an adult.
Yeah.
You know?
But she was supposed to be kind of young even for the character.
So anyway, the author, like even in the last part of the book where there's like an interview with her, the question is, what in this is true, and where does the fiction part of the historical fiction genre come in? She replied, of course it's a very long reply, I'm only gonna read the first paragraph. The author says, I decided early on that I would be crazy not to rely heavily on the historical record for plot and character development in The Accidental Empress. The raw material itself was so good and intriguing that there were all of the fixings in there to make a compelling novel. So you can really see how she relied on everything that really happened, you know? The only thing where she did go astray was with Lord J. Andraschi. Not gonna say what happens with him.
She strayed with that?
Yeah, she did. There were like rumors about what happened with him.
But
she took those rumors and
created a fire.
Yeah, created a fire.
Not just the smoke. Fire.
I mean, if you're interested in like if you have watched Victoria, I think this is something you could enjoy because it's a bit similar, you know?
Yes. And they were in the same era, I think.
Yeah. And it's like it talks about women oppression in that time and how the glamorous role of being an empress is not as glamorous. Life. How hard it is and how difficult it is to put up with that. And
it's not Disney, guys.
Nope, far from it. Oh my God. I can't say that I loved it. I could appreciate her honesty. I think that's the right way I can put it. I appreciate her honesty. I am going to look at the movies in a different light now, which I don't like because she took the magic away a little.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm betrayed in that part. Like, she ruined the love story for me.
I feel bad for you now. Me, personally, I'm taken with the book. It made me feel so much indignation. It's like...
Like, to know your worth and what you...
Yeah, it's like... Why is all of this happening to her? Why isn't she doing anything? Or like, why is she putting up with this? And
there was a question that answers exactly what you just said. Question is, seeing all of these conflicts that Sissi faced, we can't help but ask, why doesn't Sissi stand up for herself more? Okay?
Yeah.
The author answers, time and again we are rooting for Sissi and we want to see her stand up for herself. And she does try throughout, but as 21st century readers, we must resist the temptation to look at Sissi through our modern lens. The mythology of Sissi that persists today is mostly concerned with the personal tragedies we faced as well as her iconic looks. But there's obviously much more to the character of Sissi than just the beauty for which she is still remembered. She was a human rights activist, an avid traveler, a lifelong student, a devotee of Shakespeare and poetry and philosophy and foreign languages. She reminds me so much of Victoria.
Yeah.
But Sissi was a gradual process of self-realization over many difficult years. It would be anachronistic to expect Sissi, a 16-year-old bride with almost no formal education and no idea of what marriage and court life entailed, to adapt effortlessly to her very demanding new role. Sissi was completely ill-prepared for the life into which she was so quickly thrust, and the consequences were as disastrous as you might expect them to be. It still goes on, and it's...
The thing is, you guys, like, at the beginning of the book, like, she was so free-spirited and well-welcomed into the court, and like everyone was fascinated by her.
And they killed her spirits.
Yes. Once she became Empress, I didn't see that girl anymore.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for her to return, but I don't know.
I think it was part of France's upbringing. It was all... He had the power, you know? He was supposed to be on his wife's side all the time. I guess this is kind of a spoiler to you. But, I mean, this is... I think you should be prepared for what's going to happen. Because I want you to realize that this is not a love story. It's not. It's not. It's about a story showing you what a woman goes through such an age. And how she needs to stand up for herself and learn to be responsible for her own happiness.
Yes.
Okay? In a world where her happiness is constantly taken away.
Yes.
Okay? In a patriarchal society. Yeah. You know? So it's pretty strong. And it's not just a normal relationship. It's an emperor. So he's raised differently than any other man you know. Like a normal pedestrian.
Yes.
Like, a normal man would have maybe given her the happiness she needed. You know, like, he wouldn't have been confined by all these rules and all these restrictions and all these ideas of how everything should be.
But there is more to that, but that would be spoiling, so... Yeah. I guess you'll have to see for yourself. I think, like, reading this book is for people...
It's difficult.
It's very difficult because we grew up wishing we were a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Maybe a queen someday. Meeting a prince by accident somewhere and then suddenly we're there.
Like before in slow motion and fireworks.
Yeah, exactly. But like life at court, different. The reality of it, this is the story of Sissi.
Yeah.
Even Victoria, they had this... I don't know, like neat bow tie on it that it's fine and it's so close to what we think. But
look, the reason why I wanted you to watch the newer version of Sissi, not because I want you to love it, you know, or to see. I just wanted you to have a visual representation of what she went through. You know, it's more harshly presented throughout the series. Rather than the movies, you know, it's more he really sided a lot more with the mother in the series, and you can really tell how that has an emotional impact on her. And they clashed a lot, like a lot. But in the older movies, they made it very romantic. You know, there was clashing, but then there was like resolution at the end. Okay?
Yeah.
How should I put it? It's harsh reality. Yeah. And for people who like to read the truth, I think you will totally love this book. There were moments while I was reading this book, I felt very angry.
Yes, me too.
And I
very
felt exhausted
sad as well, and exhausted.
Yes. And that's the reason why it took me so long. You know, like
you couldn't go through it.
I couldn't go through it. Like there were moments where I was like, Sissi, please do something. Yeah. She's not doing anything.
But also I saw a lot of like the dynamic of her and her mother-in-law. It was portrayed in a lot of Egyptian drama. Like movies and TV shows and so like me as a child, I watched those things. Don't ask me why as a child I didn't watch those things. like it was what's on TV anyway. And I saw a lot of that like in that story, and it like made me feel real anger and why put up with that? But of course she didn't have a choice. She's in it, you know, the Empress. Like it's not like any other marriage where she can get out or something. It's like she's telling Austria bye-bye. Or like the empire, you know. It's not just France, it's the empire now. But we have to admire her strength, not just when she like actually started doing something about it, when she endured all of this. It's like a story of endurance, and it gives you this empowering feeling of like,
as well. Whatever we're going through, it's nothing compared to what she's going through.
Exactly, nothing.
Oh, yeah. And it really shows you what it does to a person, you know? The whole losing control over your life and still trying to go on and find a reason to be happy, you know? And I kind of loved what Allison Pataki did at the end of the novel. I was
Which made me want to go into the second novel right away.
Like, in the middle, it was very, very difficult, which is where I had the trouble of going on. But near the end, it was getting interesting. It was there was something that was saving Sissi.
Yeah.
Like through her troubles, and I was intrigued to see how that would affect her in her journey. And I guess you have to read the novel to see for yourself.
And we keep talking about the second novel. We still haven't started it, and we don't know if we'll do it for the podcast.
For the podcast, but like, just for ourselves. If you
want, tell us. We're up to it. We're gonna read it anyway.
Maybe we can do a poll on Instagram or something.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So we know.
After we post the spoiler, we can ask everyone if they like this to review the sequel or not. We'll read it anyway, I think, for ourselves. Yeah. It's just the question of, do we record an episode or not?
And when do we read it?
And when,
because we have a schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys when you read the book in the next week or like whenever. Like in the spoiler chapter.
You have a whole week to read it. It took me longer than that.
It took me a week. Like
took you said 3 days.
I did?
Yeah, you said you sat 3 days and you finished the whole book.
Really? And what did take me a week? Maybe something in the past month. I don't remember. Wow. Life is a blur right now of books.
A blur of books.
A blur of books.
Which is a good thing.
It is.
All right, we'll see you in the next chapter where we bring you the spoiler.
Thank you for making it till the end of this chapter. We hope you found it intriguing enough, or better yet, sad enough, to start reading The Accidental Empress. Once you've read it, join us in our book discussion next Monday in the spoiler part. Until next time, mark the page.